This video is a purge of stacked up footage from over the course of the last 2 years. The subject of this video is about the purging of unwanted crap. Some of the shots in this video are embarrassing. You see, nearly all of my life I have been collecting things, projects, stuff, junk. My wife calls me a hoarder. I like to think of myself as prepared for anything. But when you've lived in the same place for over 2 decades and you've gathered more than you've gotten rid of, your buildings will start to look like a junk drawer. So in this video, I'm going to expose my inner hoarder and share with you my thoughts on collecting, keeping, organizing, and finally, purging that unwanted stuff.
Dig Drive DIY!
I can't pass up a good deal. You never know when you're going to need it. Can you believe they were going to throw this away? I'll find a place for it. This will be a winter project. You know, as soon as I get rid of it, I'm going to need it. I think I need to build another shed. If you've ever uttered any of these phrases, then at least I'm not alone. Because if you can relate, then I don't need to explain it. My wife cannot relate. She is a master organizer and the perfect yin to my yang. We've been through this cycle numerous times where she tries to help me rid the clutter. All right, today, Karen and I thought we'd test our marriage again. See if we could clean out this woodshed. So I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this situation where, we're lucky to have several barns and buildings and plenty of places to put stuff, but that's also a curse because when you have lots of places to put things, you tend to collect and stack up a bunch of stuff you don't necessarily need to keep anymore. Case in point, our woodshed. Kara thinks we really need to get it cleaned up, and you know what, she's a terrific organizer, so I'm going to take her up on the offer to help me get it cleaned out, and we're going to start organizing it. She's got this whole system for organizing. Matter of fact, we should probably make a list.
Lists are good, yeah.
Step 1. What's step 1? Clean and sort.
Keep or get rid of. And then get rid of, you're going to have either trash, burn, donate, or sell. And under keep, you're going to decide what location.
We're going to try to get everything moved out of the shed, assess all of the stuff and the junk that we've got, and then we'll start sorting into our piles, right?
Yes.
Clean and sort, step 1.
Stop talking, let's go.
This is the stage of the project where I wonder why we even started in the first place. But we do have a lot of nice piles. We got things sorted. And why do I have so many tires? Well,
Because he's a hoarder.
alright, so this building has gotten a little bit out of hand. No doubt. This was my first shop and I worked out here when we first got married. When I built the garage, I moved my toolbox and all of my efforts into the garage, and I worked in there for a long time. So in 2013 I built my new shop and I moved out of the garage, and pretty much this place has become a catch-all, and I haven't done much to maintain it. So I'm embarrassed that it looks this way. It's time to get it cleaned up and try to get it organized, and that would make my wife so happy with me.
Okay. What should our goal be for today?
We'll clean everything out on this end and work our way towards the door. And then the idea being that this is going to be lumber storage and pipe and building materials that I frequently use.
Okay.
Should we take those shelves out? Put them somewhere more useful.
Well, I know, that's what, I mean, they're so nice and useful. You hate to just have them sandwiched back behind there, you know. I think you'll use them somewhere.
Got a hell of a mess. Got to be able to get the backhoe back in here.
Two empty shelves, woohoo!
I haven't had these shelves cleaned in 20 years that we've lived here, probably. You know, you keep different things throughout different stages of your life. You have to hold that steady.
I can't.
And what I saved when I was 20 or 25 is different than what I want to save at 45.
Mm-hmm. You saved everything since you were 20.
I saved a lot of stuff. So yeah, we would work on the barn off and on for the next couple of months. I was moving things downstairs up and getting things from upstairs down. It was all progress in the right direction. I was making piles of things to trash, donate. I even sold a few things. I began to realize that it didn't have to all be done at once. As long as we just kept moving forward, it would get done eventually. Actually, that's what Kara is always telling me too. I'm a perfectionist by nature, but for some reason in my mind, a state of incompleteness is easier to accept than a status of imperfect. That's essentially the definition of procrastination, and I am a terrible procrastinator. While I do get lots of things done, if it weren't for the last minute, I wouldn't get anything done at all. Distractions are everywhere. As I finally sat down to think about making this video, it occurred to me how fitting the situation was. I've been saving up all of this footage about my efforts to clean, sort, and organize all of my junk, and I've never used any of it because I wanted to finish the story. I wanted the video to end with everything on our property all perfectly cleaned up and organized. But guess what? The video isn't going to end that way. I've realized that it's an ongoing process, and it's going to take a good while for me to change my habits for the long term. The video then became what the subject matter is, a random collection of clips that I put in the corner of my hard drive and almost forgot about. Heck, if I don't start to use some of this old footage, I'm going to look like a different person than when I started recording them. And that, in an essence, is the true story of the content here. You become a different person over time, and your needs and wants evolve, while all the crap you've been collecting just sits there and stays the same. What?
I would put that against the wall because it's taller.
Oh, come on.
But that one sticks out further. I would bring the box up to its even flushness on the top.
Oh, come on.
That's the way I like to do things. Yeah, that looks better. Thank you.
It's all about looks.
It has to be appealing.
But as I said, eventually, over the course of more than a year, we finally got to a point where it was time to take out the trash. The buildings, while still incomplete, are way better off than they were a year ago, and they've stayed in pretty good shape ever since then, too. The day had come where I would load up many of the things that I found difficult to part with and take them to the scrapyard. junkyard and take all our treasures to the junk.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay. Even the scrap hauling trip was months ago now. But hey, the cleanup and efforts to rehabilitate my hoarding ways weren't the only things going on in life, and I continue to procrastinate and get easily distracted. Even though we still have plenty of cleaning and organizing to do even to this day, the trip to the recycling yard felt like an ending to the story, so to speak. The goal was to start getting rid of the junk, not necessarily all of it at once. So we had achieved a goal, and we were rewarded in more than one way for the work we'd done so far, too. Wow, we got 423 bucks.
That's awesome.
That's pretty awesome. What are we gonna do with all that? We know how to spend our scrap metal money. But some distractions are the wanted kind. The kind that should let your work be interrupted. The kind that should require your full attention. Life changes quickly as time marches on, and all that cluttered stuff will be there unchanged when you can get to it. It's too often that I get buried in work or inadvertently misalign my priorities. I have to remind myself to stop and pay attention to the things that most certainly are going to change. So sometimes it's okay to leave a project unfinished or a barn a bit disorganized. I'll get to it eventually. And it's okay that not all of my videos and stories are going to have a perfect ending either.
Daddy. We want to show you, the kids want to show you a trick in the blockhouse. Yeah.
The blockhouse? Alright, let's go check it out.